my dear friends. Hope you are all doing well. I personally apologize. I'm very sorry that I could not upload any videos during this time, as you are all know that the work has started and everyone is getting busy, and including me myself. I was purely occupied and totally occupied in site activities. But during this session, I really appreciate that many of my colleagues and friends and viewers have continuously messaged me to and suggested me some of the topics to discuss. Most demanded topic among these all suggestions was non-conformancy report, or non-conformatory report, or non-conformance report, or non-compliance report. You can call it anyway. So let us discuss about NCR, and for that I would like to explain you what I have applied and implemented this system in my project. It may not suitable to you or your project, but what I felt is the easy way to address the ISO 9001-2015 system requirements. So let us start about non-conformance reports. So in my project we have a system called field deficiency report and then non-conformance report. Many of you may get confused with what is this field efficiency report. I'll explain you as with reference to ISO 9001 that ISO 9001-2015 says or calls for major and minor non-conformances, and many times it gets very difficult to assess the major or minor non-conformances. So what we decided to go for is, let us divide this NCR major or minor. Rather than major and minor, we'll go for FDR and NCR, that is field efficiency report and non-conformance report. So that has solved the identification terminologies. What is this FDR? That is field efficiency report, which is day-to-day activities, workmanship errors, or deficiency or error which can be easily addressable or which can be easily addressed and very quickly can be addressed. But yes, this is a minor non-conformance with respect to either drawing or inspection test plan, or it may be a aesthetical part, or with respect to a world-class quality requirement of the project. Second one is obviously non-conformance, which fits into major category of the non-conformance, NCR. Now we call it as a non-conformance report. Some of the organization may call it as a non-compliance report, or some organization do call it as non-conformatory reports. It depends on case to case or company to company basis or system to system basis. But yes, in my project we call it as non-conformance report. As the name says, it is the activity which is not conforming to the agreed specification, agreed or approved good for construction drawings or issued for construction drawings, or as per agreed mutual discussions or instructions or client instructions. Now, when I say agreed mutual instructions or agreed mutual client instructions, that means in our project we have a system called instruction register, which will be duly signed and maintained, signed by client and maintained by contractor at any stage of the activity. For example, there is one wall which is say 4 meter length and says 4 meter wide height. Now client wants it to be say 3 meter in length or 3 meter in height. That is a change with respect to the drawing. So what we do here is we keep a register and we write on his behalf that XYZ client has requested us to change or deviate from the drawing, and he will sign it. The client who is authorized to sign will be signing the instruction register, and that is evidence of mutual client instructions, which is agreed between contractor and client. Like that, we have a technical specification for every activity, obviously issued for construction or good for construction drawings. And last but not the least, the construction international standards or Indian standards. When I say international standard, I am referring to ASTM or British standards and etc. Applicable international standards or Indian standards which are available. So NCR and FDR, as I told you, it is an introduction what we are following on our project. Now what I want to emphasize here is the wordings of FDR or NCR. What are the care to be taken while writing FDR or NCR? That is, 1, the topic or error or deficiency should be clearly mentioned in the description. You don't have to write the essay for writing just to a minor issue, that is, say block work is done for 4 meters height instead of say 2 meter height as per drawing. Example, this is the only error. They will write in spite of telling so many things, this, and then they will write this topic which is irrelevant. Please don't write. Write a very brief introduction to the description or introduction to the topic which you want to highlight here. Second, give a proper reference to the document. That means where it is written this 4 meter or 2 meter, where it is written. So there will be say instruction register, as I mentioned, there may be a drawing, there may be a technical specification, whatever it may be. Third, the time or a date of this occurrence. This may not be applicable to your format or what the topic, but it is required to show that you are not a slow person or you are not delaying the highlighting topic. That means if it is done as seen today, you should write during the walkthrough on this date or as observed on this date. Example. So it will create evidence that we are not highlighting the topic after certain duration or certain time. Fourth, if you are highlighting any non-conformance or deviations, there are chances that the contractor or a execution team or a construction team may contact you asking the solution. So you should be prepared enough to give the solution or a technical expertise guidance or suggestions to the concerned topic. Fifth, you must follow for the closure of the document. It's a report. Why I am telling you should follow up? Because when you have highlighted, you have raised some sort of ownership or a liability on the construction team or the contractor. Now the contractor will look towards you or see towards you or watch you as a originator of the issue. It may cost him a penalty, or it may cost him a rework. It may cost him in many ways. It may pinch him, or it may hurt him, or it may enlighten him towards the topic. There is a negative possibility, there is a positive possibility. So the appearance of yours in his eyes will be different for a certain period. So to make it a normalize or to build a good rapport among the contractor, you should always help him towards closure of this document or report or issue. You don't have to take ownership towards closure, or you don't have to perform this unless until you are the key person or a root cause for that particular topic. But as a voluntarily technical expert or QC engineer, you should give your contribution towards solving the topic and closure of the report, which will create a good rapport and a good confidence and a friendly relationship between the corresponding teams, and it will help to improve the teamwork approach. Obviously, at the last, the sixth one, if you are the originator, don't hesitate to sign the report. But in our project, we ensure that the FDR and NCRs are signed by the authorized people, that is project manager and quality manager jointly. The reason behind this is they must be aware about the issue and they must be able to provide the suggestion, and also they must be able to build a pressure on contractor or a construction team towards closure. Indirectly, they are also liable towards NCR. Yes. So NCR, we saw what are the contents to be added. But here I would like to emphasize on one topic, that NCR is not a punishment. FDR is not a punishment. Here some issues to be carefully noted, that many of my friends, young friends or two dedicated QC people, think that if we give NCR, it's a lesson or a punishment to the contractor or a receiver. It's not like that. It's a non-compliance or non-conformance report. It's just a report. If something is not matching with agreed document or agreed data or agreed agreement, it's non-compliance, it's not conformance. So you don't have to get very happy or revenge or punishment or punish. It's not that. This is not a tool or hammer to use against the progress. Like I heard many times my construction managers or my project manager friends, they used to say that, Navin, he's not listening to me, he's not adhering to schedule, give him the NCR, I will give you the topic. It's not like that. You should not do like this. This is not a tool to be used against contractor just because he is not listening to you. This is a just document as others. That's all. You are not adhering to the document specification. You are not adhering to the drawings. You are not adhering to the method statement. You are not adhering to the agreed document. Yes, it's a non-conformance. That's all. You comply, you confirm, you address it, close it. As simple as that. Even I saw many times people give, there is a honeycomb, give NCR. There is a bulging, give NCR. An engineer is fighting with you, give NCR. In one of known project, very well known project in India, I don't want to take the name, but the NCR numbers were reached up to 400 in just a matter of span of 3 years, I believe 3 years, which is illogical, right? Just because there was some minor honeycomb, give NCRs. It's not like that. NCR is not the tool which has to be used just to prove or just to get the contractor to listen to you or make the contractor to listen to you. No, please. NCR is just a report or a record. That's all. Try to understand that NCR, using the NCR for such kind of activities is offense. It's called as offense in management language. You cannot use such tools just to make contractor to listen to you. Second point which I want to emphasize on, that there is a concept in India or many countries that if you give NCR, if the contractor doesn't close it or he is delaying to close the NCR, the money will be withheld. Maybe 2%, maybe 5%, depend upon the situation or seriousness of the topic. My question to those all project managers or the decision makers to withhold the money, that are you assuring that money which is withheld for that against that NCR, how are you going to use that money? I'll share the example here. Many times, since the NCR amount will be 2% or 4%, and maybe at the last end of the project, the 4 to 5 NCRs will be generally balanced. So it will be almost 10% of that particular value. So generally what happens, the contractor or the vendor leaves that 10% or whatever the money withheld, and he goes. He told, you keep it with you, I don't want this. What happened? Did you achieve the quality? Did you achieve the desired intention to give NCR? This is not the way. NCR In my opinion, it should not be linked with the cost or a money. Yes, if many times small vendors or small contractors do listen this language, but logically speaking, that is not the uh, way or solution to build a pressure towards closure. It's attitude towards quality, or attitude towards safety, or attitude towards adhering to the specification or agri document. You build attitude, you build a relation or rapport towards this kind of attitude, building the attitudes with the contractor. Linking the money, so example, I'll give you my best example which I seen in my life, that there was a particular work activity for which we gave an NCR. I don't want to name that on this social media, but there was a project where we gave NCR for just because he didn't maintain the alignment or line alignment or something, and we gave NCR, but because of urgency our management had pressure to open it, so they withheld around 3 to 5% or something of the total that particular activity cost, and they released the payment, or they released the contractor. Now contractor was supposed to act and solve this issue to get that 7% or 10%, whichever was money was withheld. Contractor has written a letter that thank you very much, you keep your 7% or 10% with you, I don't want that. I don't have manpower or tools or tackles to match at your requirements, so I will not be doing it. I don't want your 10%. What happened? The damaged work is already there. Contractor has demobilized and he went off. And since there was a DLP, or since everyone has took over, there was a signed document. So management has to release his all liabilities, bank guarantees and all. They have released it. They cannot withheld all those things except this amount against the NCR. Now we have started using that facility, whichever we have took over. We asked management to give that withheld money for repair. Now that withheld money was such a less amount, so which we could not use it for this repair. We had to put more money for this repair. The burden was on our QC team or execution team to get it done at our expected standards. What happened now? It's all gone. So please don't link any NCR or FDR with the money unless until it is really necessary to. The best way to give the NCR and get the work done is to build the attitude towards closure of NCR, and don't make it as a hammer or a punishment to the contractor, so that contractor will run away by being afraid of that or by fearing of such issues, such names. The third one is giving so many NCRs will lose its value. Give NCRs which are non-complying or non-conformance cases only. Otherwise, you can give FDRs as a minor one. If you go on giving NCRs or major NCRs, one day the contractor will say, okay, something came, leave it. Something came, leave it. He will get so habituated, he will start throwing it out in his dustbin or in his drawer. So please don't give unnecessary NCRs. And if you are giving NCR, whatever I told the documents or data to be entered in that must be followed. So this is what a short intro about NCR which I am maintaining in my team on my project. So hope you like it. Please subscribe it and keep me motivated towards uploading such new videos. And obviously, see you soon. Enjoy, be safe, and keep your family safe. Thank you. Bye bye.